Alrighty guys, so hopefully you guys have already watched the intro video and learned a little bit more about African masks and got some ideas for how you might want to draw your African mask. So this is the masks that I got in Africa. I showed it to you guys in the intro video, but a couple years ago, 2019, I went to South Africa. And I went on a safari, so I got to see a bunch of animals like giraffes and zebras and elephants and stuff out in the wild. And while we were there, we learned a lot about the Zulu tribe and saw a lot of their artwork, their baskets that they made, and also their masks that they made. And we got to purchase one to take home so that I could show you guys what one looks like in real life. So this one's pretty cool because if you look at it closely, you can see two other heads in it. This one's fun because the eyes are cut out. Sometimes with masks, the eyes are cut out. Sometimes they're not, because sometimes they're not necessarily made to be worn. Even this one is too small to actually wear on your face. Maybe my son could, but most people's heads are too big for this one. So the mask that you guys will make today probably also will not be big enough for your face, but this one is made out of wood, which is pretty cool. I don't think you guys will be making your mask out of wood today. The students here at school are making their masks out of terracotta, which is red clay, and this is an example I made for last year of a giraffe head. So a mask does not have to be a person's face, right? It could be an animal's face or some sort of creature that you make up yourself, like my sun face. This one broke a few years ago. But this one is made using Model Magic, which is a really cool, inexpensive, relatively inexpensive air dry clay that you can make. And I really like the white because I like to be able to paint it when I'm done. So we made these out of Model Magic, and then we painted them once they were dry. Usually I let them dry until they're pretty hard. Like this one is very hard. They'll get harder as they dry too, but you don't want to paint them right away. You want to let them air dry. Usually here at school, I let them dry a week or two before we paint them because they are a lot sturdier once they're drier. So that is an option too. So for your project today, you guys are going to be making a mask. Now I understand as you probably don't have terracotta clay at home, which is fine. If you have modeling clay, if you have Play-Doh, if you have air dry clay, Crayola makes two different kinds of air dry clay. They make one that they call air dry clay. And then this one, which is Model Magic, which is a little bit more of like a foam texture when you're building with it. It's more squishy, but it dries, like I said, still pretty hard. Still kind of has a foamy texture, but still pretty hard. And then, yes, their regular air dry clay dries pretty hard as well. If you don't have any 3D material, so any like clay or Play-Doh or Model Magic, you can always make one. There's a lot of recipes on like Pinterest and stuff for some pretty inexpensive clays. You can ask me and I will drop this in the elementary office for you. I'll just write your name on it and drop you a package of this. I do have enough for every remote student to use this as well. So if you are interested in that, I can put that in the office for you. You can also, though, make an African mask out of plaster if you're really getting crafty, or even just paper or cardboard. You can make an African mask out of just about anything that you can put on your face, right? And then the next step would be, of course, to decorate it. So if you are doing clay, or Model Magic or something like that, please, the first step is just to make it. I will be having you guys paint them next week. I don't want you guys to get too far ahead of the kids here at school, because just in case we have some students who are hopping back and forth between remote and in person, I don't want our schedules to get too off. So here at school, we are creating it one week and then we're painting it or glazing it the next week. So if you do make it out of cardboard or something and you want to like do the whole thing from start to finish, that's fine. But you might end up being a week ahead because next week is going to be the painting step. So I would I'm trying not to do it all at once because I know it might take you guys some time to like stop in and get your clay, or run to the store, or, you know, Pinterest something and pick up the ingredients, or, you know, wait for your next Amazon box to come so you can steal the cardboard so you can make a cardboard mask. All of those kinds of things take time. So I don't want you guys to feel like you have to get too much done all at once. So as long as you get your mask made at some point in the next week before next week Thursday, you guys will be all ready to go. Next week Thursday, I will post the video for adding color and designs and all of that to your mask. If you are doing it out of clay, I would suggest doing a lot of your details with a sharp wooden tool. I thought I had one. Oh, I do have one right here. Good. We just have these, but like it just looks like a giant bamboo skewer cut in half, which that might be what it is. Or toothpicks. I have these plastic needles work really good. Anything you guys can find at home that's kind of sharp but not, you know, dangerous, you guys can use to make a lot of these textures. Otherwise, if you're going to be using watercolor paints to paint them, it's going to be very hard to do tiny details. This one I did with acrylic paint, which is a little easier to do details, and I had teeny tiny brushes. But if you don't have tiny brushes, or you know, if you're using watercolor paint, I would do a lot of your details with a sharp tool, like a toothpick, so that when you paint, you don't have to try and get all of those tiny details in then, because some of those things are very hard to get details with. And I think that is just about it. If you have any questions, of course, email me. If you need me to drop off a package of this in the office for you, I just need to know your teacher name, so that I can put it in the correct bin in the office for you. And then put your name on it, of course. So if you need one of these, just email me, let me know who your teacher is, and I will put that in the office for you. If you're going to do something else like cardboard, or paper, or whatever you guys come up with creatively at home, that's totally fine as well. Paper mache is sweet for this, which we definitely can't do here at school because it would be crazy with, you know, over 100 kids, but that's definitely something that you guys at home could do. So have fun, get creative, find a fun way to make a mask, and come back next week to add color, baby, color. Talk to you later.